Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to LiveStream Under the Moonshine with Zaxter99. This is episode number 179. We are going to be playing an award-winning visual novel with an octave higher. This is part 3. Diane, welcome. Good to see you. Always good to see you. It's been so long since I've seen you. I mean, I've seen you a few times over the last 6 months, but haven't seen a whole lot of you. Hopefully you're doing well, feeling like crap. Waiting to see if Samira gets a sibling. Oh, wow. Really? Wow, that's big news, Diana. Wish you luck with that, however you want that to turn out. Wow, Samira might get a brother or sister, huh? Wow. Alright, guys. Everybody here, an octave higher. If you guys have listened to the first 2 parts, things are just starting to get pretty interesting now. We have a magic town. It's fictitious, obviously in a different world than we live in. A town called Overture, and it's has its rich side of town, its poor side of town, and we have a son of a lord, so obviously well off, and he played a game of what they call Sorcerer, a magic game to start everything off, and he kind of has a bad attitude about things. It seems like really got mad at his dad for pitting him up against a female and kind of getting embarrassed, even though the crowd loved it. So he's pretty high up on himself, it seems like, and he's kind of been dissing the guy named Franz. The guy who's actually studied magic and did a like a research project about magic, and kind of did a class for his professor and did a demonstration for his professor at his professor's request as well. And this lord's son, Lord not Frederick, this Lord Frederick, doesn't think very much of him and basically thinks he's an imbecile or whatever. And when they were talking, he basically sent this Franz scholar to, he sent him to a brothel to look for funding for continued research on a particular school of magic research. So this Franz guy was looking for money to help fund research to learn about, I believe, compassion magic. And this Lord Frederick said, you know what? He thought to himself, I'm going to send him to a brothel, to a hooker house to look for funding when he thinks he's going to be looking for funding elsewhere. So we're going to get back into this an octave higher part 3. Where the heck is everybody else? I don't know, Diane. They might wander in here as I start reading. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. Alright, guys, so where the heck is everybody else? I don't know. I expected we had about 7 to 8 people listening to the first 2 parts of this, and so on a Friday night, I was kind of surprised that we don't have that many more, or that many people listening. So hopefully they'll come in. Diane, it's definitely good to see you. Hopefully you can stick around. This is going to start getting a little more interesting, I think, and this is an award-winning visual novel, an octave higher. So let's go ahead and pick up where we left off, and hopefully a few more people will wander in. Alright, so there aren't many students outside because most of them are still in class. I also don't see Aretha anywhere. The sun is still high. Looking at my chronometer, I learned there's still more than 2 hours until the sun sets. I should be able to arrive at my destination before the end of the day. So this is Franz's point of view, and this novel does switch point of views between so far between Franz, the Lord Frederick guy, and the young lady named Elise, who's living in the brothel. She seems like a nice gal. I hope she don't end up having to, sell her body at the brothel when she turns 16. Diane will be here until she falls asleep on you. All right. Yeah, I know that some of these books and, just having somebody read to you anything has a tendency to put some people to sleep. So if you do fall asleep, that's okay, Diane. I'm still here, and we'll be reading this. So he's talking about his destination. The destination, he thinks he's going to be looking for funding, going to somewhere important to look for funding for his research in magic, compassion magic, that is. And this Lord Frederick basically set him up to go to a brothel to look for funding. So he's basically setting him up for a big trap. So this is going to be interesting. Hey, Foxy, how you doing? Hey, Junior, welcome. All right, so I should be able to arrive at my destination before the end of the day. Shortly after I cross the street, an omnibus comes. At this hour, the omnibus is nearly empty, even this close to the city center. And there's the omnibus, again, powered by magic, floats over the city. The commute took more than an hour, but I'm finally close to the place I'm looking for. Now, I just need to find the place. I look for street signs. As soon as I find one, I walk over to it. Unfortunately, there are no signs that bear the street name written on the paper, but there is one that sounds familiar, so I try going that way. I plod from street sign to street sign. Almost everything is unreliable. At times, I have to double back to try different ways. After wandering for who knows how long, I find that it's almost sundown. I'm walking along a river a stone's throw away from a big curved bridge that crosses the water. I head to the bridge and cross it. After arriving at the other end, I realize that I've never been in this part of the city. I continue strolling through a road that gets narrower with every block pass. It's also getting dark, or rather, gloomy. Has the sun totally set? I look around and catch a glimpse of a man in shabby clothing sitting on the dusty pavement near an intersection. His back rested against the wall of a dirty-looking bookstore. I avoid directing my gaze at him, but as I walk past him, I notice he's missing an arm. In fact, both arms. Oh, wow. Diane, I come to watch and listen to Zach's soothing voice. Aw, thanks, Diane. Foxy's like, I came in and saw an Octave Higher Part 3. I was like, yes! A feeling of pity for this man wells up in me. I now know why he is sitting on the pavement. So he's come upon a man in a poor part of the city, and this man is missing both arms, sitting by the side of a dirty-looking bookstore. Can you imagine coming up to a man on the street? How awkward that would be to see that he's missing both arms? And it says, a feeling of pity for this man wells up in me. I now know why he's sitting on the pavement. Without any hands, it's impossible to cast any magic. And without magic, it's impossible to have any reasonable expectation of a good life. Oh, wow. In this society, people like him are the lowest of the low. However small they may be in number, they are the sole level of society that exists without hope. I would sooner die than to be like him. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's some pretty sorrowful empathy right there. Plush Trap Gaming, welcome. Zach's voice equals the best voice. Oh, thanks. I fell asleep because of his voice in part 1, Foxy says. Diane says your voice is soothing, Zach's. Samira can't sleep without anything else. Really, she hates noise, but she falls asleep listening to you with me. Oh, nice. I like to hear that. If I can help put your daughter Samira to sleep, that's great. Diane, she heard a lot of your voice when I was pregnant with her. Well, that's so awesome. Making me smile, Diane. So anyway, yeah, the lowest part of the society here in this obviously fictional story, this magic city of Overture. He comes upon a man without arms, and obviously magic is a huge part of the lives in this game. Requires a mana. There's a big magical mechanical factory that produces mana and stuff like that. Mana is required to cast these magic spells, and he says right here, you know, that if you can't cast magic, you're screwed. You're screwed. May the gods have mercy on him. So he feels empathy looking at this guy without any arms, the inability to cast any kind of magic, and living on the street, it sounds like. Seeing this amputee makes me understand where I actually am. This must be the proletariat district. That explains why everything looks dreary, smells noxious, and feels just unclean. Why am I in a proles district? Did I get the address wrong? No, you were sent to the wrong place. You were sent to a freaking brothel by Lord Frederick, dude. Finally, I find a sign that bears the street name I'm looking for. I follow the sign. Oh boy, there's the brothel. Here it is. This is the address written on the paper. The house is big and luxurious, but it's not what I had expected. I double-check and triple-check the address, but this really is it. The name of Miss Beauvoir is even written above the door. Maison de Beauvoir. Oh boy. What is this place? This is definitely not an ordinary house. Should I knock on the door? A dirty-looking man starts to talk to me as he walks by. Are you a first-timer? What are you waiting for? Don't be embarrassed. We all know this place. Just go on inside. Ha 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 ha. Excuse me, Brand says. The best girls are only available later at night, but you'll be able to find someone to suit you even now. And Franz is totally confused at this point. Wow. Poor Franz, man. Such a setup. Such a setup. Being sent to this brothel, this whorehouse, to try to get funding for a magic research project as a prank. Talk about a troll. Lord Frederick is a total troll. Franz is like, what are you talking about? And go in and the best girls are only available at night. He still doesn't even have an idea. Oh, don't pretend, boy. You're here to have fun with a girl, right? Or maybe you just want to see some tits. They might let you look for free if you pretend you're lost. Ha 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 ha. Oh my god. Foxy's like saying, don't do it, Franz. Frederick's a mean guy. Diane, my daughter, is a super slight sleeper, so we listen to Zax's streams. Nice. No, not here. I'm not here for that, Franz says. Realizing what kind of place it is, I quickly turn and I walk away. That Frederick Godwin, why did he do this to me? Sure, he might have been annoyed because I asked for funding, but he didn't have to make me come all the way out here, out of spite. My heart is beating fast. Now, how do I even get back to the city? I try to retrace my steps quickly. I don't hate proles, but that doesn't mean I fancy being around them. Soon, I'm lost. Oh no. Each corner looks as dirty, dark, and decrepit as the last. Nothing stories me as familiar. At intersections, I now pick roads purely by instinct, my only clue being that roads near the city are supposed to be wider. Following this reasoning, at last I cross an open area with a wide road. Unlike the dark alleys in the slum, this place is bathed in orange light from the setting sun. I'm relieved to have found my way back to the city. Thank God for my intelligence. And there's the magical mechanical place. Except the place doesn't look like the city at all. If anything, it is even more rural. I walk some more before spotting a site on which I stand a number of large old buildings. From it comes the sound of machinery, of labor, and of magic being cast. I know I should be going back to find the roads that will take me back to the city, but somehow I'm drawn to the site. When I finally stop walking, I'm standing in front of its rusty gate. On it, a sign reads, Magical Mechanical Ltd. Wait, Magical Mechanical? I see, must be a factory where the magic machines are assembled. He would be right. The sun is now setting. Okay, so now we're going to Elise. Back to the girl who works at Magic Mechanical, 15 years old, and lives at that brothel. The setting sun marks the end of my shift. I glance outside the factory building to see the road and some small buildings painted orange by the setting sun. I slip my left hand in my apron pocket. The vial is still there. And Judy's like, "Are you really going to do it?" Judy is getting ready to leave for home. "Yeah. You know it's not going to work, right?" I don't reply. Judy says, "See you tomorrow, Elise." "See you." I watch silently as Judy leaves the factory. When I can no longer see her, I too make my way outside, but instead of exiting the gate, I make a right turn. After circling the factory, I arrive and find what I was looking for. Okay. Now we're going back to Franz. I circle the factory, cautiously moving along its fence. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I keep surveying the complex. After a while, I find a small opening that leads to a place like a small backyard. I enter slowly but stop when I see someone. A girl. She's around my age, perhaps a little younger. She's dressed in a factory uniform. Her shoulder-length hair is disheveled, but it's not unsightly. A small braid runs behind her right ear, but not the left. An asymmetry that makes her unusually special, especially considering her surroundings. She's sitting at an old piano that sits in the middle of this abandoned yard behind the factory building, as unusual and out of place as the beautiful lady who sits in the middle of these slums. She reaches out to the piano with her right hand and gently presses a key right in the middle of the keyboard. Silence. Now we're going back to Elise. I make nicknames for people, so that would be okay if I call you Plushie. Gonna call Plush Trap Plushie. I'm sure he'll be okay with that. Yep, he agreed. Okay, again, so we're we're Elise now. Having failed to produce any sound with the middle F key, I try an octave higher to the right. Okay, well, there's the name of the whole visual novel, An Octave Higher. More silence. Not surprising, this piano has been broken since the day it was made, for all I know. But I always like to begin like this. My family had the same model when I was a small child, which I used to play many times. My parents even said I was pretty good at it. But we know what parents say about everything their kid does. I found this poor piano here by accident about a month ago. Nobody knows who dumped it here. Since then, I've been coming here after work almost every day just to be near the piano. For some reason, being with it relaxes me. Now we're going back to Franz. The girl just sits there motionless for a while. Then suddenly she produces a small vial of bluish liquid. I've seen that liquid enough times to be able to tell what it is right away. It's curcuma xanthorrhiza, or temulawak. It is called in its native land. In this kingdom, we simply call it manna. What is she going to do with it, though? Back to Elise. Am I really going to do it? I'm sorry for lying to you, Mr. Nailton. I actually drank the potion from lunch break. I'll find a way to make up for this somehow. I gaze at the drink in my hand again. Yes, I'm going to do it. I carefully take off the cap of the vial, bringing the vial to my lips, and I empty it. Back to Franz. Having drunk the manna, the girl brings both of her hands slightly above the piano, palms facing down. as though giving it her blessing. Back to Elise. That blue liquid is Kool-Aid plush trap. That's funny. Diane says, I was listening to a stream when I went into labor, and my daughter, so she's a baby of the stream. Oh my god, Diane, wow. Diane's baby is a baby of the stream because she was listening to my live stream when she went into labor. I never knew that, Diane. That is so cool. Wow. Da, 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 da. Stream mom. Exactly. No kidding, Diane. So now we're back with Elise. I closed my eyes. If anyone saw me right now, she'd think I was... no, wait a minute. Yeah, I think we're Elise. I closed my eyes. If anyone saw me right now, she'd think I was in the middle of doing mental preparation before performing Sonata. Back to Franz? Yep. I feel compassion building up. She's going to, but no. She can't be thinking of, no. Nobody can fix a broken thing with healing magic. Compassion magic can only affect living things. You can heal a man or a woman or a child or an animal, but you can't heal a broken piano. Compassion. Transform. Amplify. Uh-oh, did she do it? Did she fix the broken piano with compassion magic? Huh? Is it Franz? Light Day. This is like, I think Light Day was like a Saturday. Sextilis is the name of a month, the 26th of Sextilis. Now we're going back to Lord Frederick and Lord Godwin. Thanks for coming to my house, John. Oh, here's Professor Poe. Always a pleasure, Jeff. Franz. It's an honor to meet you, Lord Godwin. My name is Franz Byron, a student of Professor Poe's. Oh, this is Franz. Okay, Franz. It's an honor to meet you, Lord Godwin. My name is Franz Byron, a student of Professor Poe's. My father is having a meeting with a famous professor from Conservatoire d'Ouverture to evaluate yesterday's event, as well as discuss potential projects that may receive support from Magical Mechanical. So now we're from the point of view of the guy who sent Franz to that brothel. Because I attended the symposium yesterday, my father insisted that I be here. What a pain in the ass. What I don't understand is why that student is also in this room. See, he doesn't like Franz. In fact, isn't he supposed to be at the conservatoire? Even though it's a light day, there are no classes. At least he could have the decency to do his homework and be far away from me. Originally, people only rested from work on Sunday, but sometime in the last century they decided that they would work 5 days a week instead of 6. Light day joined Sunday to make a modern weekend. Professor Poe. So, yesterday's symposium. Yes, Magical Mechanical will be having a shareholder meeting next week, and I'm thinking of proposing to invest in some research projects that have potential to bring good returns for the company. Because he owns Magical Mechanical. The same factory where that girl works, where they were just at. All our representatives have submitted their recommendations to me, but I also want to hear your opinion. Not all of our representatives, Father. I don't remember giving enough of a damn to write a report. Ho ho ho. Now I'm obviously biased, but if I may, I'd like to suggest my own student's research project. Huh? A student project? Which one is that? Now Franz comes in. It's the one about the study of compassion magic, my lord. Oh, that. Any other projects you can recommend, Johann? He has no interest. Ha, Father is harsh. He completely disregards Poe's idea without any comment whatsoever. Franz says, my lord, if you're interested, I can give you more details about my research. My father eyes the student coldly, without even turning his head. I think I've heard enough details from my own experts. With all due respect to Professor Poe, your advisor and my friend, I have to tell you that our team of experts have decided that your research is unlikely to produce anything of value. Well, I think a scientific theory that will lead to the creation of compassion magic machines would be very, very valuable indeed. But I think you misunderstand. I'm not saying that the research or the result you're hoping to get from research would be worthless. What I'm saying is that it's unlikely you'll ever yield such a result. Our team of experts at Magical Mechanical have concluded that it is very improbable that your research will succeed. And Professor Poe steps in and says, Joff, while I agree that the project is very ambitious, I believe it's still worth pursuing for. Even if it ultimately fails, we will surely gain valuable insights into compassion magic, which will enrich our understanding of magic in general. And Johann, I agree with you, and indeed I commend the student for choosing to undertake this important research. However, Magical Mechanical is a business. Our goal is to not understand magic for its own sake. We require a monetary return on investment, either through new product or improved functionality of an already existing product. If your research is purely academic, you're better off asking for funding from the king. The conservatoire itself is a public institution, so we're already being funded by the monarchy. Unfortunately, most of that money is used for operational costs. There is very little left for research projects. They both pause. Franz pauses. Is it my turn to say something here? This is Lord Frederick talking, or thinking. I'm still not sure why I was even called here. Whether Father wants me to fund the silly Father wants to fund the silly project or not is none of my business. Franz says, actually, just yesterday, I think I might have discovered the key to making compassion magic work on non-living things. I saw something very extraordinary near the Magical Mechanical factories. May I tell you a story? You are in the industrial district? Go ahead. Well, I was lost on the Proles district yesterday, and from there happened to stumble upon a Magical Mechanical factory. The student gives me a quick glance before continuing, glancing at me glancing at Lord Frederick for sending him to that brothel. Franz says, I circled the factory and by chance came across this girl who was sitting at a broken piano. I don't know why she did it, but she cast Revive on it, on the broken piano. Casting Revive on a piano? What a stupid thing to do. Revive only revitalizes damaged cells. It can only heal, not bring the dead back to life. Was she hoping the piano would transform back into a tree? That's what Lord Frederick was thinking to himself. And Franz says, at that moment, of course, the area was filled with a white light, and just then, I felt that I heard the piano make a sound. When the light subsided, I saw the girl, and I couldn't tell that she had also heard it. I could tell that she'd also heard the sound. But when she pressed the piano keys again, there was only silence. Only then did I realize that there was never any sound. I must have only imagined it. But at that exact moment the spell was cast, I was very sure that it had fixed the piano. It was a novel experience, and I would like to conduct some experiments to see if the phenomenon is quantifiable. Everyone is silent for a second. We're trying to make sense of his story. But it didn't make a sound, did it? No, the piano is still broken after she cast the magic spell. Then you didn't discover anything. Lord Poe steps in, or Professor Poe steps in. I personally find this story very interesting. Franz knows magic well. If he feels that the girl's magic was abnormal, It's definitely worth looking into. You said this was in a magical mechanical factory. Was this girl a factory worker? Yes, I'm sure she was. She was a teenage girl, about 14 to 16 years old. She was dressed in a factory uniform. Her hair was down to her shoulder, and she had a braid that ran behind her right ear. Wait, that girl? Frederick steps in and says, wait, did you say she had a braid? Everyone looks at me suddenly, as if I was a ghost that just stepped through a wall. Yes, right behind her right ear. What about the left? No, definitely only on the right side. Lord Godwin steps in. Frederick, if you must ask questions, ask something relevant to the discussion. There is no mistake, it was definitely her then. It was that angel. Now, Lord Frederick has seen this girl as well, and when he first saw her, I think outside of the brothel as well, that's where he found it, he saw the young girl and thought she looked like an absolute angel, is what he thought. So he knows now that Franz here is talking about the girl who did the piano was the angel that he saw. It was the beautiful girl I saw in front of the Maison de Beauvoir. Now Professor Poe laughs. Ha ha ha! What's wrong with being interested in a girl, Joff? Father, in my opinion, it would be good for Magical Mechanical to fund his research project. I quickly direct the discussion back to the student's research before I'm found out. I've only got one shot at this. My father raises an eyebrow while the rest of his face is unchanged. He's unimpressed. I bet he was born with that face. Congratulations, ma'am. It's a boy. Oh, how is it, my baby doctor? Well, from looking at his face, I think he wants to see a proposal on how you and your husband plan to provide him the best environment to grow up and study. Probably something like that. Lord Godwin looks at his son, Lord Frederick, and says, explain, why should I fund this? Here goes. I think you need to look at it from a different angle. Magical Mechanical can fund his research not as an investment, but as a marketing campaign aimed at improving the company's image in academia. By funding a purely academic research project, Magical Mechanical can claim that it is helping to advance science. We would be promoting our corporate social responsibility. It will make Magical Mechanical more popular among the students, and when they graduate, more of them will want to work for Magical Mechanical. And if you think about it, this is much cheaper than the kind of advertising Magical Mechanical normally does. It's just a student project anyway. There is only one researcher, and the salary is lower than an average Magical Mechanical scientist or engineer. Other than salary, he'd only need money to buy equipment and maybe pay for a few assistants. All taken together, it still amounts to little more than a rounding error for Magical Mechanical. So now he's trying to convince his father to fund this project, I think because he's interested in this girl. He wants a way to get closer to this girl that lives at the brothel that he sees as an angel. So now my father's other eyebrow is also raised. His mouth is slightly open, but he's still silent. I bet he never knew that his son is so shrewd about business. Well, he did make some valid points there on why his father should fund this research project of Franz. Professor Poe. Ha ha ha! The younger Lord Godwin made a pretty sound argument there. What do you think, Joff? Well, I think it can't hurt Magical Mechanical to fund this project. And so his son talked him into it. My father's face returns to its normal expression, completely emotionless. After all, I can see its magic already. It's amazing. What do you mean? It makes my son interested in a science project. It doesn't get more magical than that. That's kind of funny. I have to say that it even surprises me. I managed to convince my father But it wasn't really my argument that made my father change his mind. I don't know if I should be happy about this. Franz comes in and thanks him. Well, thank you very much, my lord. I promise I'll deliver a good result with this project. Huh. Wow. After that, Father and the professor talk about several other research projects. The student and I don't speak another word. Now Franz says to him, Thanks, Frederick. Thanks to you, Lord Godwin agreed to fund my project. My father and the professor have left together after the meeting. I don't know where they're going. Oh, don't mention it. Oh, and by the way, to be honest, I was a bit irritated yesterday after you sent me to that place. I was rather panicked when I found out what kind of place that was. And by the way, you really got me there, but I'm not angry because now I know that you sincerely wanted to help me and only gave me that address as a joke. But how did you get that place's address anyway? Silence! What a dolt. If my father were still here and heard about me going to the Maison, I'd be fed to a dragon. Well, so to speak. Dragons aren't real, of course. What is this, a fantasy land? By the way, can you bring that girl here tomorrow? There you go. There's why he talked his father into funding the project, right there. He's now saying, Franz, can you bring the girl here? Because he likes the girl. Franz like, that girl? Yeah, the factory worker who tried to fix that broken piano. Do you want to meet her? I want to see her compassion magic with my own eyes. Yeah, right. Yes, of course. You must be really interested in compassion magic. Haha. I will have you smitten, you fool. Okay, I'll find and bring her here tomorrow. I don't know why I want to see that girl so much, to be honest. She is beautiful, but she isn't the only beautiful girl in Overture. I guess there's just something about her that's different from all the other girls. After Franz brings the girl here tomorrow, I won't have any need for him anymore. To hell with his nonsensical research. Great. Good luck on your research there, Franz. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Frederick. Thanks again for your help. I am Zax's doppelganger plush. Oh my gosh. I'm Peach. Alright. We're back to Franz now. I leave Lord Godwin's house feeling satisfied because I was able to secure funding for my research thanks to Frederick. Frederick wants to see the girl tomorrow, so I have to find her. I have to find her right away. I look up at the sky to see the sun above me. The girl should be at the factory at this time. Aren't I forgetting something? Oh, I promised Aretha that we'd go see a kinetoscope show today. I look at my chronometer. I think there's still time to see the show with Aretha before going to the factory. But if I see the show, I'll only arrive at the factory around sundown, and I may not have much time to look for the girl. On the other hand, if I go to the factory now, I'll have more time to look for the girl. What should I do? Meet Aretha at the theater or look for the girl at the factory? So our second choice of the game comes here, where we actually have a choice on what to do. I know Aretha is his good friend, and he made a promise to her, or told her that he would go to the, to the event that day. But it sounds to me like his research project is probably more important to him than going to see the kaleidoscope show, basically. The theater, if you would. Yeah, I think he's going to go to the factory, because that sounds like the more important thing to him. Okay. How did they get +1 when he decides to go to the factory? Oh, because that was the factory girl, not him and Aretha. Okay. we got a point for the relationship of me and that Elise. I feel bad for Aretha, but I need to find this factory worker girl because she's important for my research. Now, where is the omnibus stop? I arrived here this morning in Professor Poe's personal carriage, but he has gone somewhere with Lord Godwin. Looking around, I find myself surrounded by big and luxurious houses. Even being among the Borghese, not many people can afford to live in this area. There don't seem to be any omnibuses here. Everyone is riding his own personal carriage. Occasionally, there's a taxi carriage. I pick a direction and walk, trying to dig into my memory of riding with Professor Poe this morning. No, not here. Wait, I think we took this turn. There really are no omnibus stops around this area. Aristocrats just don't use omnibuses, I guess. Finally, I give a signal to a passing taxi carriage, which then descends in front of me. I get on the carriage as soon as it stops. After I tell the driver my destination, the carriage takes off again and flies. Having nothing to do while sitting alone in the carriage gives me ample time to think about my research. I'm still not sure if I'll be able to find anything new from the research, but if I can get the girl to help, I should at least be able to produce something interesting, or be able to produce some interesting experimental data. Like Professor Poe said, even if the research ultimately fails, it will be okay as long as I can add to the literature about compassion magic. I can just point out any random deviation from the normal results and mention anything that correlates with that finding. I'll end the paper by noting that nothing conclusive can be inferred yet from my research, and further studies are needed to formulate a theory. The rest is up to my writing skill. Writing skill is important too. Running my thesis through a few drafts will make it shine, even if the paper doesn't offer up a scientific breakthrough. I worry about Frederick though. He seemed genuinely interested in this research, but I'm not very confident that I'll be able to replace what I saw yesterday at Magical Mechanical. Well, that can be payback for the joke he played on me. But what was I feeling back when that girl cast her spell? Why was I so sure that she revived that broken piano? Why did I feel that I had heard a note? What was so different about the way she cast her spell? The carriage drops me off on a street nearby the factory. The driver refused to go into the Pearls area. Well, at least that knocked a little bit of, at least that knocked a little bit off the fare. Okay, a little cheaper fare. I walk along the city street towards the factory. It shouldn't take me long to get there, but I need to hurry. The street is quieter out here where the Pearls live. There are almost no vehicles crowding the sky, and most of the shops are closed. While I'm walking, I spot two people in the distance who strike me as odd, because one is a Bourgeois woman and another is a proletariat man in an unusual getup. Watching closer, I realize the man is assaulting the woman. Oh wow. That's not good. The man. Hey, this is that same man that, I think it looks like the same man that Lord Frederick saw when he was down in the Pearl District. Give me all your money and mana potions. I'll give you everything. Please don't hurt me. The woman is whimpering as she takes out her money and mana potions from her purse. Oh no. Here, please just let me go now. I'll let you go? Sure, lady. In just a second. No, please don't. Oh no. The man strikes the woman hard, sending her body tumbling to the ground. Ah! Looking down at the woman, the man pops the cap off the mana potion and swigs it down. Hey, you know, these things taste a lot better outside the factory. An aura of intelligence emanates from him. It bothers me to see someone so unintelligent using intelligence magic. Summon. A bucket full of water gushes out from his hand, and it doesn't physically hurt the woman, but now she's completely drenched. Well, little lady, now that you're all wet, maybe I should drag you back to our place and get you a dry set of clothes. Uh-oh, what a creep. Our place? Who is he referring to? The woman notices me then. Her eyes are pleading. Oh no. Help! Help me! What should I do? I can use magic for sure, but I've never been in a fight. Seeing the woman asking for help, the man then looks in my direction. Hey boy, don't you be causing no trouble now. You go mind your own business. Oh damn, this is bad. I quickly gather my faith and pray to the gods that my wind will be strong enough to throw him across the street. The man is preparing another water spell to attack me. He's using more mana than last time. I have to send him flying before he can unleash his water. Summon willpower plus courage. All of a sudden, a bolt of lightning rips through the sky and strikes the man on the head. The sound is so loud that it hurts my eardrums. He collapses immediately, though he continues to convulse for a few seconds. Standing over the unconscious man is a policeman whose magical aura is still very strong even after unleashing the magic. In a city where every citizen is capable of using offensive magic spells, it is the police's job to keep everyone on their best behavior. That's why one has to be very powerful mage in order to join the police. Ordinary magicians aren't accepted. The police officer picks up the money and mana potions the man took from the woman and walks over to her. Are you alright? He hands the money and the potions to her and helps her to her feet. Yes, thank you, officer. You gotta be careful out here. There's a group of proles going around who target the upper classes. Are you sure you can walk? Yes. Please come with me to the police station. I need you to give us a statement. Our medical staff will also be sure to take a look at you. Okay. The officer walks back to me. What were you doing here? Well, I was walking through when I saw the man assaulting the woman. It looked like he was going to attack me as well. I was just trying to defend myself when you came along. I see. Please be careful. These people are getting more and more dangerous. These people? He gives me a sharp look. Libertans. They are the members of the Libertad, a group of extremist proles. They hate the Buggys and the aristocrats. Oh, I see. It's not hard to guess why they hate us. Can I go now? The policeman thinks for a second. Yeah, get out of here, but just be careful and try to avoid going to a proles area if you can. Okay. I can't tell him that I'm going to a proles area right now. The policeman picks up the unconscious body of the Libertan and carries him on his shoulder. Then he and the woman get on the policeman's carriage and fly off. Despite the warning, I resume my quest to the factory in order to look for the girl. Apparently, I am literally putting my life on the line for the scientific research. That's rather cool if I do say so myself. I'll have to tell Aretha at school on Monday. Or on Moonday, not Monday, Moonday. Okay. Am I going to play Dead by Daylight later? No, probably not, Karumi. Dead by Daylight will probably come tomorrow on my Games of Our Lives live stream. I found the factory again with little difficulty. Now I just need to find that girl. I take out my chronometer and look at the time. It's still 4 in the afternoon, so the girl must still be working. I can't just randomly show up at a factory and demand to see her. Who would I even demand to see? Moreover, I don't even know which section of the factory she's in. The factory's huge. That will be a problem. But there is more than one exit. Where should I wait for her? I circle the factory, trying to peek inside, hoping to catch a glimpse of the girl, but it's not easy to find one girl among among many different factory workers. It almost feels like this guy's like stalking this girl now. I mean, I know he wants to get his research project funded, and he told that Lord Frederick that he would definitely get the girl to come up to his house or whatever, but it almost feels a little bit stalkerish to be waiting outside a factory for hours for a person you don't even know to walk out. I don't know, maybe that's just me. After walking a few hundred feet, I come across a backyard. It's the same backyard that I found yesterday. Not knowing where else to go, I enter through the small opening that I went through yesterday. The piano is still there. The sight of a piano in a factory backyard is almost surreal. It doesn't look new, but it's not that weather-worn. Someone must have dumped it here relatively recently. I walk up to the piano and inspect it, but find nothing unusual other than the fact that it's simply broken. No matter which key I press, it doesn't make the slightest sound. I scan the yard to see if there are other musical instruments around. Maybe there's a musical graveyard of sorts. But there aren't. The piano sound I thought I heard yesterday must have been nothing more than a figment of my imagination. I just keep staring at the piano, trying to explain what I experienced, but no explanation comes to my mind. The only possibility of getting an answer to this is to meet the girl again and watch her cast her magic again. She is the key to this research. And my decorated graduation, incidentally. I don't know how long I've been standing here. When I become aware of my surroundings again, the workers are already leaving the factory, and the sun is setting. Noticing that someone's coming, I reflexively hide. But why am I hiding? It's not like I can't be here. Oh, it is that girl. She walks to the piano and sits down. Is she going to try reviving the piano again? Does she do this every single day? But today she just sits there, her solemn eyes glued to the piano. Why are you so quiet? Her voice almost made me jump. Has she noticed that I'm here? Haha, I guess that's because I haven't been able to fix you, right? She's talking to the piano. Yes, she was only talking to the piano. She's a bit of a weirdo, I guess. She brings her hands forward. Her eyes are closed, but her hands are rested on the piano keys. She takes a deep breath. Her hands begin to move, pressing on the keys softly. There is no sound. The piano is still mute. But her fingers refuse to stop. They walk across the piano, putting just a teeny bit of pressure with every step. From time to time, they skip over some keys, like little children skipping over a small puddle of water. The girl opens her eyes, but she doesn't seem to be looking at anything. She's in her own world. And what a peaceful world it must be. Her face is a picture of calm, as if all the trouble in the world vanished when she started playing her silent sonata. She shuts her eyes again for a second. When they open, they're accompanied by a subtle smile. Her body sways from side to side slowly, like a gentle ocean wave on a lazy summer day. She drifts away from the piano and then she drifts back. Her hands move like the waves, pulling away but always inevitably coming back. Her eyes roll up and her chin follows. With her head tilted slightly toward the sky and a gentle smile still visible on her lips, sadness suddenly falls on her eyes. Her delicate hands continue to saunter gently among the piano keys, but each step it's getting heavier. And then her smile fades away, leaving only sorrow. Oh wow. While her right hand is still moving, her left suddenly leaps into the air. It falls back down in slow motion as the other hand continues to waltz gracefully on the piano. Welcome back, Plush Trap. When her left hand touches the keys again, it joins its twin in a dance. The fingers now hop from key to key with even more intensity. and after a while her shoulder jerks. Her fingers start making faster movements and fall on the piano keys with even more pressure. The piano still doesn't make any sounds, but it doesn't stop her two hands from dancing faster, as though they're chasing each other. Her face looks sad. It's almost like she's in pain. Her finger movement keeps getting heavier and heavier until it gets really intense, and now even her body is shuddering. Oh wow, that'd be pretty odd to experience and look at. All of a sudden, everything calms down. The girl keeps playing the piano, but it is back to the slower pace from the beginning. Her hands waltz softly, her body sways gently, and her head nods at the piano with her eyes closed. She makes no expression. Her eyes open again with a reappearance of a beatific smile on her lips. She smiles, but grief is still apparent on her eyes. Her face is full of emotions. There's bliss, there's serenity, but there is also despair. Yeah, it sounds like she's playing a song on the piano. Obviously, the sound isn't coming from the piano, but she's definitely going through the motions of playing a song in her head, if you would, and the motions of playing it on the keys and everything like that. The mixture of emotions make her look sensual. Her two hands move lazily together on the piano, like two very close friends strolling along a beach. Her small fingers continue to step on the piano keys, until at last they come to a stop. There is no grand finale. They just eventually stop moving after moving slower and slower. The girl pulls her hands back to her lap and sits still. Her eyes are closed. All emotions have vanished from her face. Meanwhile, I stand here with my eyes glued to her and her piano, and I'm stunned. Even when inaudible, a musical performance can be beautiful. It's magical. Her eyes are clear and conscious when she opens them again. She's back in this world. Our eyes meet without realizing I have come out of my hiding place. Look at that expression. She's like, what? What are you watching me for? Fran says, hello there. Hello? This is awkward. It's times like this that I wish I had Aretha's sociability. That was an amazing performance. What piece was that? The girl stands up and moves closer to me, away from the piano. Oh, that was actually just an etude. I mean, it's just a piece to practice my skills. But it has a really beautiful melody, doesn't it? I don't know. I couldn't hear anything. Oh, sorry, you're right. Sometimes I forget that the piano is broken. Well, even without the sounds, it was very... It was very interesting. I'm sure the music was really nice. And I bet you played it perfectly, too. Oh, that's not true at all. I made 3 mistakes just now. Did you? I couldn't tell at all. You didn't seem to hesitate. Of course not. In a recital, you should just continue playing even if you stumble a little on a note, and try not to let the mistake affect the rest of your play. Besides, the audience may not even know about the mistakes unless they are also musicians. Ha ha ha. Ha, I see. By the way, I'm Franz. Elise, nice to meet you, Franz. Well, nice to meet you, Elise. Elise looks cheerful. The sorrowful expression she had when she was pretend playing the piano cannot be seen anymore. She now wears a full smile of joy. It seems I can talk easily to her. I guess I didn't need Aretha's easygoingness after all. This girl already has it. I just hope she isn't perverted like Aretha, too. And then again, maybe that would be fine if she was perverted. When he says perverted, I don't think he means like sexually perverted. I think he means like kind of sarcastic and you know, outspoken. I think that's what he means when he says perverted there. Ali says, "By the way, why are you here? Are you a magical mechanical engineer inspecting the factory?" "Well, actually, I tell Elise about my research and how I have seen her try to revive her broken piano yesterday." "What? You saw me yesterday?" That was embarrassing. You must have thought I was strange trying to revive a broken piano." "No, in fact, Oh, please don't tell anyone. Seriously, pretty please." "Too late. I've told Frederick, Lord Godwin, and Professor Poe." "Oh, wow." "Well, why?" "Because..." Elise speaks softly. I kind of tricked my supervisor into giving me an extra bottle of mana potion so I could cast a spell on the piano." "Oh, don't worry. That's not going to be a problem." "Oh, thanks." She looks relieved. "I never thought about yesterday, but a factory worker couldn't normally have had enough mana left after work to cast Revive. So, are you going to try again?" "Try what?" "Reviving the piano." "Ha ha ha, my supervisor will kick me out of the factory if I ask for mana potions again." "Oh, really? Well, I can get you potions." "What?" "Actually, I belong to a research project that's interested in learning more about how compassion magic works. Elise, let's fix the piano. You could help us a lot, just by trying." "But, is that even possible? Compassion magic doesn't work like that." "Well, we don't know that for sure. I mean, you almost did it yesterday. Didn't you hear a sound from the piano when you cast that revive spell?" So it wasn't just me." "No, that's right. And that's why you've got to try again. Don't worry about the potions. I can get you as many of those as you need until we're able to fix the piano." She's like stunned, I think. Because mana potions would be expensive to somebody like her. "If we can figure out what happened yesterday, it would change the world." Elise turns to face the piano. She reaches out her hand to touch the piano slowly. I don't know whose piano this was, but it reminds me of the one we used to have at home. Well, at the house I used to call home. My parents bought the same model when I was 4 years old. I played it all the time. Like all the time, hee. I was wondering how a pro was able to learn to play the piano, but from what she just said, I understand that she must have come from a bourgeois family. I'm curious how she fell into this life. Where are her parents now? Okay. She turns suddenly and points a finger at me. I will help you with your research. Let's fix this piano. Ah, great. Let's do it, Elise. Yeah. I'm definitely going to make this piano sing again before I turn 16. Ha ha ha. I don't know what's so significant about turning 16, but sure, I laugh along. So we know what's significant about her turning 16. She knows that when she turns 16, living at the brothel that she's been living at for the past 6 years ago, they're going to start making Elise here sell herself every night to the slum of the city that want to pay for sex. Yeah, I hope that poor Elise here doesn't have that happen to her. Ha 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 ha. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot that Frederick wants to see her magic. Yeah? There's someone that I'd kind of like you to meet tomorrow. Who? He is my friend or my sponsor? Wow, I don't know what to say here. He's definitely not a friend. I mean, no friend would send him to the brothel. But is that something he should say now, or should he just be more honest? Guys, I think we're gonna choose honesty is always the best policy, right? Because even if it makes it kind of harder now to get her to agree to meet him, if we kind of lie and say this Lord Frederick's his friend, and he's obviously not, it may come back to bite me later. Honesty is the best policy, right? Let's go ahead and be honest and say, hey, he's my sponsor. He's the one that's going to be funding his magic. Or he's the one who's getting him his funding for his magic by talking his dad into it. How's it going, Ryan? Welcome back, man. Good to see you, dude. So we're going to choose my sponsor. He's my sponsor. He's the one who is funding this project. Why do I have to see him? Well, he said he wanted to see your magic. I think he's very interested in compassion magic. But I have to work. Isn't tomorrow Sunday? Yeah, but I still have to work. Can't you take leave? I could, yeah, but we don't get paid if we don't come in. What should I do? I can't make Elise lose 1 day's worth of pay, but on the other hand, I don't want to disappoint Frederick. Should I just make him wait until Elise has an off day? No, that won't do. If Frederick changes his mind, I might lose my funding. Oh, right, the funding. Well, how about this? I will pay you twice your daily wage at the factory if you'll take an unpaid leave day tomorrow. What? No, I can't possibly take that much money from you. Don't worry, it's not my money. This project I'm doing has its own budget. You're covered. She is hesitating. And here, I figured any pro would be happy to be offered money. Are you sure that's okay? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'll go with you tomorrow. Great. I tell her the location of an omnibus stop between this area and my apartment, where we'll meet tomorrow morning at 9. Alright, I need to tell my supervisor that I won't be coming to the factory tomorrow. Sounds good. I'll see you tomorrow, Elise. Alright, see you, friends. Wow, so he had pretty good luck talking her into meeting Lord Frederick to show him her magic abilities and help him get the funding from his father to fund his research. And with a bright face, Elise begins to skip down a grassy path back to the factory to talk to her supervisor. It's getting dark. I have to get home as well. I'll take an omnibus this time. A trip by taxi carriage can easily cost more than a factory worker's daily wage. I get off the omnibus at a stop near my apartment. I walk back with light steps, feeling satisfied that I've managed to get the girl, Elise, to agree to help me with my research. As soon as I'm back in my room, I lie down on the bed. I'm exhausted after everything that's happened today. Meeting Lord Godwin and pitching my research to him, going all the way to the Pearls District, almost getting into a fight with a Libertad member, witnessing Elisa's silent piano play, and getting her to agree to help me. That's enough excitement for one day. Especially that confrontation with the Libertad. Just what the hell are they? I can understand Proles hating the Buggy, but something about Libertad is bugging me. But I don't want to think about that right now. I don't want to think about anything. I'm tired. So tired. Okay, now we are going to the point of view of who? Well, we're going to Sunday. We're going to the next day. Now we're going to Elise. This morning I wake up feeling clear-headed. Without having to force myself, I get up and grab a towel and a change of clothes. Alright, see you later, plushie. Today I'm not going to the factory because I promised Franz, the boy I met yesterday, that I'd go with him. I feel bad for skipping work, but I must admit that getting 2 days worth of pay for not working is a pretty good deal. No, that's not even it. Bad, Elise, bad. I'm only going with Franz today because I promised to help him with his research. I didn't catch everything he told me yesterday, but the gist of his explanation is that he's doing research at school about how to make compassion magic able to affect non-living things. Basically what I've been trying to do with a broken piano. He even said if the right research is successful, it may even lead to the creation of compassion magic machines, which that has the potential to revolutionize the medical industry. So it's kind of a big deal. Personally, I'm just excited to know that I might be able to fix the piano. I wait for Franz at the omnibus stop. He told me that he'd meet at 9 o'clock, but I don't have a chronometer, so I don't know exactly what time it is. I just hope I'm not late. And then an omnibus comes by. Another factory worker who has been waiting at the same bus stop asks me why I'm not getting on the bus. I tell him that I'm still waiting for a friend. That reminds me, I didn't have to put on my factory uniform today because I'm not going to the factory. Force of habit, I guess. But then again, this is my best looking outfit, so it's just fine. After a few minutes, the next omnibus comes. Seeing Franz on it, I prepare to board, but he signals me to stay outside. He disembarks on the omnibus soon and takes off. To my surprise, Franz hails a taxi carriage. I've never ridden in one of them before. You're early. I am? Usually I go to work even earlier. I thought I was running late. I see. What about you? Don't you have to go to school? It's Sunday. Of course I don't have to go to school. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Haha. But haha, besides, it's my senior year. I don't have many classes anymore. I'm supposed to spend most of my time on my capstone project. But that's where you're going to help me. Oh, okay. School sounds fun. If I were in school, what kind of project would I be working on? How to be a Puella Magi? But there's no point thinking about something like that. It's not meant for me. So, what kind of person is the man I'm meeting today? Well, he's the son of a lord, so, you know, a rich kid. Wait, and here I was, and I thought this guy was a rich kid. But I guess the son of a lord would be even wealthier. How can you even tell the difference at that point? Both of them must have enough money to eat like kings for the rest of their lives. But he says, a lord's son, I've never met an aristocrat before. Is it really alright for me to go meet him? Oh, don't worry, he seems to be a nice person. Besides, he's the only one who said that he wanted to see you. Huh? The carriage drops us off in front of the Lord's house. I look up, and up, and up. It's freaking huge. It's somewhat similar to Maison. The only difference is that a single family lives here, and not just an entire staff of sex workers. A tall gentleman in an expensive-looking black suit comes out and approaches us with short, quick, but dignified strides that give off the air of nobility. I whisper to Franz. Is he the Lord? What? Are you serious? He's a butler, haha. Wow, a real butler. I didn't think butlers existed outside of fairy tales. That's funny. Hey, Brookie Bear, how you doing, hun? Butler says, good morning, may I help you? Good morning, my name is Franz Byron. I'm here to see Frederick Godwin. Ah, Mr. Byron, Lord Frederick is waiting for you. Please do, come in. Franz and I follow the butler inside. The butler leads us to a room. As soon as I enter the room, my eyes fall on an object in the corner. It's a piano. I assume this one isn't broken, however. It's not the same model as the one left behind at the factory. This is a more expensive, obviously, But a piano is a piano. I should be able to play it with no problem. Well, I hope so anyway. I haven't touched a working piano in years. While I'm still admiring the instrument, another man who looks much younger than the butler enters the room. He's dressed magnificently. This must be the Lord's son. And it is. Frederick comes in, Franz, and after shifting his gaze to me, he falls silent, with his lips apart. He eyes me from head to toe as if studying you. Yeah, he's lusting you, Elise. Huh. He is infatuated, to say the least. Is there something wrong with the way I'm dressed? Do I look strange? He looks as if he had seen a fairy. He must have been, this must have been what I looked like when I saw the butler. Good morning, my lord. My name is Elise Shelley. Elise. Elise? Frederick, this is the girl I told you about. Yes, of course. How are you, Elise? I'm fine, my lord. Thank you for asking. Please, call me Frederick. You don't need to be so formal with me. Oh, okay. Thank you, my lord. Well, this isn't going to be too difficult. I wasn't sure how to behave in front of a lord, but Frederick seems to be quite friendly. However, I'm still just nervous because this is the first time I've ever met a lord. But then again, I do see lords all the time at the Maison. I just don't interact with them. Frederick, you said you wanted to see Elise's magic, right? What should she cast her magic on? If you're injured or sick, I can cast Heal or Cure on you. If not, maybe I can just energize you. Well, I think Frederick wants to see you cast Compassion magic on something inanimate, kind of like what you did with the piano. Huh? But, well, I see that. There is a piano here, but it's not broken, is it? I suppose I can break it and then sudden... No! His sudden shout makes me jump. No, I will not break my father's piano. He would not be pleased. For a second, there is horror on Frederick's face. Oh, okay, well, I won't then, haha. Franz, will you give us a moment? I'd like to speak with Elise alone. Oh, wow. He wants alone time with Elise, guys. He wants alone time with Elise. This is what he wanted. This is why he talked his father into funding his research project. Oh, I don't know how fond I am of this Lord Frederick guy. Huh? Elise is like, why do you want time with me alone? That's what she's thinking, I'm sure. Franz and I stare at each other. He looks as surprised as I do. Oh God, I don't want to be alone with him. I plead to Franz with my eyes. Oh wow. Franz, please don't go. I beg you. Please don't leave me alone with this guy. Franz returns my gaze with a sharp look and a nod. He then turns to Frederick. Franz says, okay, I'm leaving her to you, Frederick. Oh no! Oh no, what? What? He's gonna leave her alone with this Frederick guy. No my. I stopped the Rocky stream just because it wasn't getting any viewers, Brookie Bear. Yeah, there wasn't enough interest to keep it running, and it was gonna cost me even more in data. Yeah, I was using a lot of upload data running that stream 24/7. So, oh no, so Franz is gonna leave her alone. She's already pleaded with Franz to not leave her alone with this guy. Uh-oh. And she's just thinking to herself, what? No! After he says no problem, basically. Do you know how in a picture... Wait a minute. Do you know how in picture books, two people can often communicate their feelings by staring into each other's eyes? Today, I've learned that that is just another lie. Why are children taught things like this? Oh no. Poor Elise. After Franz has left, it's just me and Frederick alone together. The room feels bigger. and for a moment nobody speaks. The day always gets better when I see Zax and Brookie. Aw, it's nice words that rhyme. Frederick says, "So, Elise, if you're helping Franz with his research, it must mean that you are gifted in compassion magic, correct?" "Yes, of course I'm gifted in courage, but Franz had never said anything about researching courage magic." "I see. What do you think about your compassion trait?" "Think about it? I never think about it. It's just something I was born with, haha." "Is that so? I guess compassion suits you because you're a girl." Really? I don't think it has anything to do with gender, but maybe you're right. What are your magical traits, Frederick?" "Willpower and courage." "Ah, we share a trait. That's nice." "Indeed." "Willpower and courage, huh? I heard that combination is usually found in an uncouth person." Oh, wow. She just insulted him. Willpower and courage magic. Remember how big magic is to these people in this story. Now she just said the two magic traits that he specializes in is a combination found in uncouth people. But I guess that's not true. You seem very polite to me, haha. Ahaha. Frederick is the most definitely the quietest lord I've ever known. The lords that often come to the Maison are all loud and pushy, especially after a few drinks. Something though about the way he's staring at my face makes me uncomfortable. Though, so I avoid meeting his glance. My eyes fall on the piano again. It's really different from the broken piano in the factory backyard. This piano looks so much more elegant. Truly something that befits a lord's house. I wonder what kind of sound it makes. Frederick says, "Do you like the piano?" "Huh? Yeah." He must have noticed me staring at the piano instead of looking at him. That was very rude of me. "Do you want to try playing it?" Can I? I mean, wait a minute. No, thank you. I'm sorry." "It's all right. Go ahead and play the piano. I would like to hear you play it." Okay. Well, thank you, my lord." I walk over to the piano and sit down carefully. For a few moments, I just sit silently, admiring its beauty. I bring my finger to the middle F key and apply some pressure. The piano emits a lovely sound. Ha 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 ha! Ha ha ha! I turn my head to see Frederick watching me. "I'm sorry. I pressed the same key on the broken piano 100 times, but it never made a sound. So when I heard that sound from this piano, I don't know, I just found it funny for some reason. Haha. I guess I'm the only person who would find that funny." Frederick must be thinking I'm a weird girl. My face feels hot all of a sudden. Uh-oh, she's blushing. "Yes, I understand what you mean." Haha. I face the piano again. I close my eyes and place my hands on the keyboard. I haven't played a real piano in years. I hope I can still play well enough. I press a key and then another. My fingers move from note to note. I've chosen a piano sonata with a slow tempo so I can take my time getting used to the piano. The piano sounds beautiful. I'm surprised at how well I can still play. My almost daily practice with a broken piano must have counted for something after all. The music is still as I remember it. Although this piano is not what it used to play, it answers me just the same. It answers me with the most pleasant melody. Let's see if we can hear it a little bit, her playing. Yeah, we can. Let me turn the music up a little bit, guys. Let me let you guys listen to this while I get a drink of water. I'm going to let you guys listen to her playing the piano while I get a drink of water, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, bye, Brookie. Have a good night, hon. Alright, let's go ahead and continue, guys. I keep playing. When I close my eyes, I feel as if I'm being consumed by the music. Before long, my hands are moving on the piano by themselves. I am as much an audience as a performer. I can feel the tune of each note not only with my ears but also with my soul. It's like the music was standing beside me, taking my hand in hers, guiding me to a place she only knows. Oh, we're Lord Frederick now, I think. I think we swapped point of views. It's warm, the music smiles at me, and I smile at her. I feel at peace. There are no proles in Orborgy. There is no Maison de Beauvoir. There is no factory. There is no broken piano. We are alone. There is only happiness. And Frederick says, Elise. Oh, wow. Frederick says, Elise, service me. Oh, my God. Elise, service me. What? This girl's 15. And this Lord Frederick basically is telling her to give him sex. What, because he's a lord? Oh my gosh, wow. Things just went from an elegant piano play. We see now why this... My hunches were right about this Lord Frederick. He is kind of a scumbag. He only talked his father into funding the research for this Franz guy, for his magical research, so that he could talk him into going and getting this girl who he thought looked like an angel. He's definitely not treating her like an angel now. He basically just turns to her while she's playing his piano and says, service me. Wow. That's like basically meeting a woman the very first time, having a decent conversation, like, you know, presenting yourself, hey, you whatever, and then be like, let's fuck. That's basically what this guy's basically done, is he's basically said, fuck me. Damn. Elise is like, what? Yeah, oh, so we're still in Elise's point of view. I stopped playing the piano. You heard me. I want you to service me. Basically, I want you to fuck me. Damn. Oh no, Frederick, you bad guy, Foxy says. What is he saying? Now remember, she's only 15. She's been living at this brothel, this whorehouse, but she hasn't done any of those kind of deeds yet. She says they're going to make her do it when she turns 16 because she's been living there, I guess. And, you know, right now she's underage. But she's obviously still a virgin from what it sounds like. What is he saying? Serve you? How do you want me to serve you? Hey, Deadly Venom. You know what I mean. Service me like you service your customers every night. Oh, so he assumes... He is making an ass out of himself. When you assume, guys, what do they say about the word assume? When you assume things, you end up making an ass out of yourself. You make an ass. If you divide the word assume up, it makes the words assume and the letter U, assume you and me. You make an ass out of you and me. And he is definitely showing that right here. So what he did, remember when he saw her and thought she looked like an angel. He only saw her for a brief second, saw her walk into that brothel. And he assumed that because she walked into the brothel, that she was a hooker. Yeah, like Roxy says, this is bad, bad, bad. You know what I mean. Service me like you service your customers every night. I feel a cold sweat on the back of my neck. I don't know what you're talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I know that you work at the Maison de Beauvoir. I know what you are. Now he basically just called her a whore. I know what you are? He basically said, I know you're a freaking whore. Man, this guy is an ass. Wow. I step back while shaking my head, but Frederick comes near. You're wrong. I don't work at Maison. I only... I'll pay you. It's not a question of money. How much do they normally pay? I'll double that. No, I told you you're wrong. I live at Maison, but I don't work there. I don't take customers. Frederick keeps advancing. He backs me up to a wall. No, I'm not that kind of girl. Get away from me. He halts his steps. He pauses. Uh-oh, Franz comes in. Oh, good thing Franz come in there, huh? Hey, what happened? Frederick doesn't respond. Elise kind of pauses. Look at the face. Look at the art here. Look at that face. Like, it's almost like she feels guilty. Or shame. Franz looks at me quizzingly. Elise, is something wrong? I don't know what to say. I don't want Franz to find out about me living at the Maison. He won't let me be a part of his research project if he thinks I'm a... I feel my face burning. She's really blushing now. My eyes are starting to sting with hot tears. The voice I'm making for the girl is kind of creepy. I try to differentiate between the voices. Yeah, sorry, I know the voice for her would actually be a lot better, but I like to differentiate between voices for different people, so it kind of flows better and you kind of know who's talking. Elise? I run past Franz and exit through the open door. Franz says, Elise! I don't stop. I need to get out of here. Outside the house, I just walk around randomly. I don't know this area at all. It's like a foreign land to me. I stop myself from crying. I refuse to shed a tear over this little thing. Why couldn't I just explain the situation to them? Franz was there. He would have listened. But now there's no point. Frederick wasn't wrong. He was technically wrong, but in 3 months, he will be right. Oh, man. In fact, I somewhat regret rejecting his offer. If I'm going to be a whore myself, if I'm going to whore myself out in 3 months anyway, I might as well start now. Frederick is at least handsome. Some of the men who will show up at the Maison, I don't even want to think about it. It's only adding to my sense of shame. I'm disgusted at myself. It's making me even more frustrated. Isn't it amazing how Frederick basically made an ass out of himself? Like, Frederick was a total prick right there, telling the girl to service him, assuming that she was already a hooker, and she's not. I mean, his first thought when he first saw her was that, oh my God, that's an angel. And then the very next thing he does when he gets her alone, he wants her alone, and he gets her alone and basically says, service me. Isn't it amazing how, and this works in real life too, sometimes people make an ass out of themselves. But in this situation, it made her feel extremely shameful. She feels shame for him being a complete ass. She didn't do anything wrong. In fact, she did the right thing by telling him, no, I don't do that yet, I'm angry. I'm angry at Frederick. I'm angry at Franz for taking me to him. But I'm also angry at myself. I'd curse my fate if a thing existed. Where am I? Where am I going? There are aristocrats all around me, and I could ask for directions, but most of them try to avoid eye contact. Some, though, are outright staring at me like I'm some kind of exotic animal. I've been walking for almost half an hour, but I haven't seen a single omnibus stop. This must be why Franz took me here by a taxi carriage. There's no shortage of taxi carriages here, but I can't afford one. And even if I could, it's unlikely the driver would even let me in. Oh man, that's gotta feel bad. Finally, I reach my main city street. I'm still completely lost, though. I've never been in this part of the city. I continue to wander without knowing where I'm going. I see a policeman. Maybe he can tell me where I can find an omnibus stop. It looks like that same cop that busted up that thug. Excuse me? The policeman glances at me for a second, but doesn't say a thing. Can you please tell me where I can find an omnibus stop? He simply ignores me. Wow, why is the cop ignoring her? Hello, do you know where the nearest omnibus stop is? Will you please tell me? He doesn't respond. Wow, even this cop's a freaking ass to her. Just because she's, poor? Or looks like a hooker, maybe? I don't know. Damn. Finally, without even looking at me, he uses his thumb to point to his right. It doesn't look like he's telling me to, it doesn't look like he's going to tell me anything more. Thanks. I walk in the direction he pointed, but his direction isn't helpful at all. I still don't know where the omnibus stop is. He wouldn't answer me properly because I'm a proletarian. He can tell by the way I'm dressed. When they say their job is to serve and protect, they're talking about protecting the Buggy and the aristocrats. They can't be bothered with people like me. Damn. I still haven't found an omnibus stop, despite having walked for what seems like miles. There have been a number of intersections since I left the policeman. He was lying to me for all I know. But what would I do even if I did find an omnibus stop? Go home? Go to the Maison du Beauvoir? So I can prepare to become a whore in 3 months? Oh man, she's feeling awful now. I can't go home. I have no home. Maison du Beauvoir is not my home. I don't want to go back there. I don't have anywhere to go. I continue dragging my feet, not even caring where they take me. I glimpse up at the sun above. Although I don't have a chronometer, I can tell that it's already past noon. My stomach growls. I skipped breakfast this morning, and there was no time to eat lunch before I stormed out of the Lord's mansion. I stop when I come across a small bistro. Perhaps I can buy a slice of bread for lunch. A quick look at the menu written on a chalkboard outside the bistro nixes that idea. I move along, so she can't afford even a slice of bread. In this section of town, anyway. In this part of town, I don't even have enough money for a cup of tea. Franz had promised to pay me as compensation for not working today, but I left without receiving any money. In other words, I just lost a day's wage for nothing. My legs are getting weak. They're trembling now. I don't know how many miles I've already walked. Suddenly, my right foot trips on a stone, causing me to fall headlong to the brick pavement. Ow! Trying to get back up, I see that I've scraped my left knee. It's bleeding and the pain stings. Still on the ground, I touch my scraped knee with my hand and start focusing on compassion. Transform. Nothing happens. The scrape is still there. It's still bleeding and I'm still hurting. I don't have enough mana for this. I even forgot to ask Franz for a bottle of mana this morning. If I hadn't run from Frederick's house, Franz would have given me a mana potion so that I could demonstrate my magic. I didn't think any of this through, though, did I? I look around. The passers-by pretend to have not even seen me. They go about their business as if there wasn't a girl hunkering down on the pavement with a bleeding knee. Man, this is terrible. Like, people in this rich district, like, look at her like the scum of the earth and won't even help a pretty... You know, we know she's probably really pretty. Franz and Lord Frederick both said she looks like an angel. So we got a pretty young 15-year-old girl here. And just because she's not in her district, she's, you know, she's dressed like a proletariat, they say, in the Buggy area of town. They won't even look at her or help her or ask her if she's okay. It's kind of freaking sad. I mean, if you think about it, this is kind of, you know, this rings true to our real life as well. There is a lot of people like that, sadly. A couple of teenagers, a boy and a girl, walk by. The boy notices and points at me while saying something to the girl. So he's gonna joke at her. I bet you the girl laughs. As he's about to walk right over me, the girl grabs the boy's hand and shakes her head at him. The boy throws me another glance before leaving with the girl. What should I do? What can I do? I obviously can't go to the hospital because I don't have the money. It seems my only option is to just ignore it, stand up, and just keep walking. A scraped knee really isn't that big of a deal. Just when I'm about to get up, I feel compassion from above. Transform compassion. The scrape disappears from my knee, and the pain is completely gone now. I look up and find a tall man standing behind me. Tall man. Does your knee still hurt? The man is not only tall, but also big. Not round big like some lords who frequent Maison, but strong big. He looks like a superhero from a children's picture book. His skin is darker than most people in Overture, although not black dark like slaves they bring from the far south. So basically she's saying he's dark, but like tanned, not black, I think. His face is showing some age, but it's still very much full of life. I'd say he's in his 30s. No, it's completely healed now. Thank you very much, sir. I'm sorry you had to waste your mana on me. Oh, don't worry about that. Do you have other injuries that need healing? No, I'm perfectly healthy now. I haven't even finished speaking when my stomach growls loudly. I was wondering what that sound was. I heard a little brrr. So she hears her stomach growling. Bad stomach, bad. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Excuse me, I need to run away now. It's what I do when I get embarrassed, apparently. Wait, don't go, young lady. I suppose your stomach problem is something that I can treat with magic. But why don't you come with me? There is this place where they serve really great food. No, you've done enough for me, thank you. I can't make this stranger buy me a meal on top of healing my injury. Oh, don't worry, young lady, this place is cheap, so it's not going to make you broke. We'll split the bill, is that okay for you? I probably won't be able to afford my half, actually. Of course you will. You're a factory worker, aren't you? Factory workers go here to eat all the time. I glanced down at my factory uniform for a second before looking up again. Oh, okay, well, then I'll go with you. My mouth is watering already. The man holds out his arm for me. All right, shall we go, young lady? Elise. It's not young lady, it's Elise. Haha, my apologies. I'm Jising Alishbana. Alisabana. I'm Jising Alisabana. I don't know. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Lady Elise. Jisung? It's a foreign name. Yes, Jisung. Okay, nice to meet you, Jisung. Shall we? Yeah. Once upon a time, my mother made me promise to never go with a stranger who promises candy or ice cream. Well, it turns out you can be hungry enough to even break your own promises to your mother. Jisung and I are set off. AJ says, trusting strangers so easily, Zax? Watch, next thing you know, you'll drink something funny and pass out. Then you're gonna wake up in the dungeon. See you later, Deadly Venom. Have a good one, man. And speaking of dungeon, this kind of looks like a dungeon here, don't it? We've gone far away from the center of the city. We're now in the Pearls area. Oh, that's why it looks like a dungeon. Jisung's clothes aren't very Borgia-ish, but there aren't quite Pearls either. However, from the way he effortlessly navigates the Pearls back streets, I guess he must be from around here. Our streets are like a huge maze. But if he is a proletarian, how does he have mana? Here we are. We stop in front of a small wooden house at the corner of an intersection. A wide range of dishes is arranged in a cupboard, visible from outside through a glass window. The foods look alien. Well, let's go in. Yeah. I don't see any other customers, most likely because it's now past lunchtime, but not yet time for dinner. Hey, Pops. Jisong calls a older man, whom I assume to be the owner. The old man's skin is also dark like Jisong's. They must have come from the same country, though they don't look similar enough to be family. The old man says, Jisong, aren't you a little too old to be picking up young girls? Ha ha ha, what are you talking about? I'm turning 17 this year. Oh wow, this guy's only 17? She thought he was in his 30s. What? I think she misjudged him. There's only one long table with stools around it. Jisong and I sit at the table. What do you want to eat? What does he have? I try peeking at the dishes in the cupboard, but none of them look familiar. Well, why don't you just leave that to me? Jisung gets up, walks over to the cupboard, and talks to the old man while pointing at some dishes. He returns to the table. A short time later, the old man comes with 2 plates of white rice and a pot of something. What is this? It's some kind of creamy green soup with toppings that give the impression of rubbish floating in sewer water. Suddenly, I don't feel so hungry. It's green. Are you sure this is edible? It's vegetables and coconut milk soup. There is a variety of vegetables in there. Young jackfruit, eggplant, chayote, milano, long beans, etc. It also has tofu and tempeh. They call this sayur loda. I don't even know what half those ingredients are, neither do I. Did he say jackfruit? How is that a vegetable? The old man comes again with another plate of something. Again, I have no idea what this food is. It looks as if the chef just put in whatever he could find in his kitchen and drowned it all in a brown, light, and fluffy, but mostly liquid substance. Why is it brown? Why is it brown? He pooped on it. He pooped on a plate. AJ says, that's gotta suck, looking 30 when you're 17. It's... oh my gosh, this looks gross. You didn't have to say it twice. It looks like... oh, she's gonna say it looks like crap. G-Sing's like, that's just peanut sauce. Stop making that face, ha ha ha. This is a kind of salad they call gado gado. It's a mixture of vegetables such as potatoes, string beans, bean sprouts, spinach, corn, cabbage, tofu, tempeh, hard-boiled eggs, and we mix them and put them in a peanut butter sauce dressing. The old man comes again, this time with a plate of some kind of creature. There's a creature I've never seen lying on a plate. It's dead, but it looks like it's just sleeping. It hasn't been prepared at all. And what is this? It's a catfish, deep fried. The food itself is called I don't know how you pronounce that. Catfish? Yes, catfish. Not only delicious as food, but also cheap because they are easy to farm. Foxy says, I love peanut sauce. It's amazing. AJ says, Leash sure is picky. I usually eat whatever I can find. Bird drippings, street condoms, and even broken beer bottles. Oh my god. Absolutely the ugliest catfish I've ever seen. Huh. Ji-sung laughs and says, now, let's dig in. Okay. These foods look horrifying, but I'm very hungry right now. Here goes nothing. I bet you she's gonna like it. Yep, looks like surprise there. It's delicious. This is really good. Enjoy your meal, young lady. I can't believe it. I don't know if it's only because of my hunger, but I genuinely think I've never tasted anything as tasty as what I'm eating right now. Other than the catfish, the food is just vegetables, but it's very rich in taste. I think it was prepared and cooked with a lot of different spices. Probably. In under 15 minutes, Jisung and I have devoured everything on the table. Huh. They were both hungry, I guess. And Jisung finally says, Phew. So, how was it? It's delicious. Were they the traditional foods of your country? Very observant of you, Lady Elise. And what country is that? Lady Elise, what date is it today? Sunday, the 27th of Sextilis, 313. Why? Oh, the 313, I always thought that was the time of day. That's the year. That's the year, guys. I always thought it was like, why is it always 3:13 in the morning? I thought that was telling me the time. That's actually the year on their world. Okay. To be more accurate, the year is AM 313. And see, the AM is why I thought it was the time. But that's the year. Okay. But it has always been AM ever since I was born in AM 298. What is AM anyway, and why can't we just stop saying it? Oh, you can stop saying it. Many people have. I just wanted to bring it up because it has a lot to do with my country. First, why don't we talk about today's date? It's Sunday, the 27th of Sextilis, AM 313, right? Sunday is Sun's Day, named after that bright thing in the sky. Sextilis literally means the 6th, though in this case, the 6th month. Oh, okay. All months are named similarly. Primalis means the 1st month. October means the 8th month. December means the 10th month. And Undecember means the 11th month, and so on. Okay. Oh, I've always thought that October sounds similar to octopus. Must be because they're both related to the number 8. Ha ha ha. Ha ha, yes, your assumption is correct. Octo does mean 8. Well, in their world, things make more sense than in our world, because October for us guys is actually the 10th month of the year. So see, our world is all effed up. It's our world that's effed up, because Deca, or December, like their December is correct. It's the 10th month. So their December is like our October. They actually got it right though. Our December is the 12th month of the year, where theirs is correct. So see, things in a fictional world or a fictional story can actually make a lot more sense than they do here in our real world. Anyway, what's really interesting is the year. AM is short for Anno Magi. It means in the year of magic. Okay, so AM actually means in the year of magic. Okay, so it means how many years this world has been a magical world, I guess. Okay. The year of magic? Therefore, when you say Sunday, 27 Sextilis, AM 313, what you're really saying is a day of the sun, the 27th day of the 6th month, in the 313th year of magic. Why is it called the year of magic? Because AM1 is the year in which Overture discovered magic. Wow, but what does all this have to do with your country? I was just about to come to that. Do you know what Temulawak is? I don't think I do. Actually, you do, but you call it something else. This vial contains the extract of Temulawak. That's a mana potion. That's right. Temulawak is what a mana potion is called in its native land, my homeland, thousands of miles away in the east. It's an archipelago called Divapantera. Something. Divapantera, thousands of miles away, that's really far. Oh, this is what she's saying. Divapantera, thousands of miles away, that's really far. I've heard that mana potions are imported from a land in the Far East, but I never knew how far it was exactly. And you came to Overture from this land? It's more accurate to say that I was brought here. I was brought here almost 20 years ago in order to work as a slave. But wait a minute, if he's brought here almost 20 years ago to work as a slave, then he can't be 17. Okay, so he just must have been jostling the owner of the cafe about being 17. He's really probably in his 30s or whatever. But 10 years ago, I escaped from my master, and I've been living among the pearls ever since. Oh. If he was brought here to become a slave, that must mean that the Jisung's homeland is an Overturian colony. So, you said that AM1 is the year when Overture discovered magic. That's when traders from Overture found Tumulawak in Divapantra. I see, but since mana potions come from your land, your people must be really good with magic. Well, yes and no. Huh? What do you mean? It's true that thanks to Tumulawak, our people have been able to use magic for thousands of years, compared to Overture that only discovered mana and magic 313 years ago, after sailing over to our land, colonizing it, and taking our mana potions. The best magicians from Divapatera can cast really powerful magic spells whose magic formula aren't even known to Overture mages. On the other hand, magic was only studied scientifically after Overturian scientists created the method of doing so. As a result, Overturian mages are able to cast magic spells much more efficiently and reliably. Has it ever crossed your mind that the phrase magical science is an oxymoron? What moron? I mean the phrase magical science contradicts itself. Magic, by definition, is unscientific. Magic, by definition, can't be understood. It's only magic because it's magical. How could magic be scientific? How could science be magical? Oh, I see. That term still exists, nevertheless, but at one time, magic was magical. Before it was studied by Overturian scientists, magic was an inexplicable phenomenon. Nobody understood it. It was rightly called magic. I see, but it only became science after mana was brought to Overture 300 years ago. Yes, moreover, a practical application of magical science emerged 30 years ago in Overture with an invention of the magic machines, and at the same time giving birth to a new academic discipline called magic engineering. Oh, hey, Jisung, you said that magicians from your homeland can cast magic spells with unknown formula, right? Why aren't they known? Because magical scientists can only figure out the formulae of magic spells that they themselves can cast. Divapaterian magic is beyond their abilities. Why don't they get their Divapaterian magicians who can cast the spells to tell them the formula? Because those magicians don't know the formula either. Huh? Why is that strange? Divapaterian mages were already using magic long before magical science existed. The way my people think about it, magic is entirely different. Wow, this is really interesting. I want to hear more about the Divapatera. Ha ha ha. There are indeed many more things to tell about my homeland. One day I will surely tell you all about it, a tale of the land from which magic comes. But it has to be a story for another time. Huh? I felt like Jisung wasn't saying that to me. Strange. Okay. We leave after paying the old man. As Jisung had promised, the food was quite cheap. It's already sundown when we're back in the city. Jisung is still with me, which means he doesn't work on Sundays. I wonder what kind of job he has, considering that he has mana. He even has an extra mana potion with him. It's getting dark. Are you going home? Huh? Oh, home. Yeah, I still don't want to go back to the Maison, but where am I going to go? I have nowhere to go. I could stay over at Judy's house, I think, but no, I can't do that. If Judy knew about Maison, she'd ask me to live with her, and then I'd just become a burden. I guess I'll have to sleep on the street somewhere. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's time I went home, haha. Where do you live? I'll escort you there. No, you don't have to do that. I don't... Jisong, Alice Bana. I was interrupted by the voice of a woman. Oh, so someone's calling him. Oh, this woman is that powerful mage that Lord Frederick faced in that battle of Sorcerer at the very beginning of the whole thing. Fancy meeting you here, Alice Sabana. Janice Wolf. Why is the commander of Dragoon patrolling on the street? Isn't that supposed to be the job of your subordinates? While speaking, Jisang slowly positions himself between me and the woman. And Wolf says, because this commander received a report from her subordinates about a muscular foreigner who was spotted using magic in broad daylight. Incidentally, his description fits a certain high-ranking Libertad member. There are no ranks in Libertad, Wolf. And yet, somehow, I knew it was you all the time, Alice Abana. Who is this woman? Why are she and Jisang talking about? What is Libertad? Without warning, the woman extends her right arm forward. Oh no, we already know she's a powerful mage. Summon courage. Uh-oh. A huge ball of fire erupts from her hand. It flies right at us. Just as quickly, Jisung nullifies gravity with his right hand to propel himself into the air. At the same time, his left hand is causing heavy rain to fall on the ball of fire that is now zooming right towards me. Summon intelligence. The fire is extinguished in an instant. This is the first time I've seen someone who can cast 2 magic spells at the same time. Farewell, Commander Wolf. Oh wow. So he stopped the fireball with rain and now he's casting another spell at her. Now, high in the air, Jisung casts a wind spell that carries him far away. Soon, I can no longer see him. In the span of just a few seconds, Jisung had cast 3 different magic spells using 3 different magical traits. Earlier today, he healed me with a spell based on yet another magical trait. That makes 4 in total. Shit. Ha, he left you here. The woman stares at me with a piercing gaze. Now, I must summon the shit out of your ass, or you will come... Wait a minute. Now, I must summon the shit out of your ass, or will you come quietly to the police station like a good little bitch? Oh man, talk about getting treated like trash. Even this commander here is treating her like crap. Do I have to summon the shit out of your ass, or will you come quietly to the police station like a good little bitch? Damn, that's just plain out rude. My gosh, this woman's so vulgar. Wait, I only met Jisung today. I really don't know him. Don't lie to me. A thick magical aura starts slowly emanating from her. She was able to shoot a fireball so effortlessly before, so the only reason she is imitating magical aura now is to give me a warning. She is telling me that she could easily kill me if she wanted to. What's a girl like you doing in Libertad? What? I don't even know what a Libertad is. Bullshit. Her aura is getting stronger. She starts accumulating courage in her right hand and willpower in her left. Oh shit, this is getting... Oh no. This is getting messed up. AJ says, Foxy says, oh no. AJ says, why not just beat the meanie lady to a pulp? I don't think she can. This is a powerful mage. Falconer says, hello, welcome, Falconer. Welcome back. So she's getting ready to cast a spell. The aura is getting stronger. She won't listen to me. I won't be able to win against her. That leaves running away as my only option. Unfortunately, I can only use fire magic and healing magic, neither of which will help me escape. Elise! I hear a shout from behind me. Oh, here comes Franz. Franz is gonna want to kick her ass because of the way she the way she embarrassed him in that game of Sorcerer. Wow, suddenly intrigue heats up here, guys. Falconer says, I'm using my cell phone as a mobile hotspot. Oh, yeah, I've done that too, Falconer. Yep, because the internet's down. Right. Hey, David, how's it going, man? Welcome back. Elise. I came here after feeling an unusually strong magical aura. I'm shocked to find Elise facing off against a policewoman. I've been looking for her everywhere, and here she is. What is she doing? How did she get in trouble with the police? So now we're in Franz's shoes. Franz's point of view. Normally I would stay away from danger, but I can't let anything happen to Elise. She's the key to my graduation. I rush to her side. Officer. The policewoman eyes me while keeping her focus on Elise. Officer, there must have been a misunderstanding. Please stop. Policewoman says, a conservatoire student? What's your relationship with this libertine? Libertine? Did she say libertine? What? You're wrong. This girl is not a libertine. She's my sister. Oh, wow. He lied. Policewoman is like surprised. Oh, crap. My sister? Really? She's not going to buy that. Why would the sister of a conservatoire student be wearing a factory uniform? Uh-oh. Busted. To my surprise, the policewoman releases all her magical power. Your sister, huh? Ha 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 ha. After she's done laughing, she asks Elise, do you really have no relation? You do really have no relation to Jisung, girl? No, I only met him today. I scraped my knee on the sidewalk and he healed me, that's all. Oh, what a nice guy. Fine. Normally I'd drag your asses to the police station overnight for questioning, but today I'm feeling nice. But listen here, girlie. If I catch you doing some funky Liberstad shit, I will find this brother of yours in the conservatoire. Bye-bye, kids. You guys stay out of trouble. The policewoman turns away and leaves. Wow, Franz didn't even recognize her. It's like he didn't even recognize her. I'm surprised. She's the one who embarrassed and humiliated. Oh, no, wait a minute. What am I thinking? Franz hasn't seen her. I'm thinking of Lord Frederick. I'm getting for Lord Frederick and Franz confused. Yeah, that's why Franz didn't recognize her. That's the first time Franz met her. Yeah. Lord Frederick is the ass that tried to make a whore out of her, and he's the one who faced the same policewoman in that sorcerer match. Silly me. Elise says, Elise? Franz? That woman was so scary. Poor girl, she must have never seen a person with such strong magical aura, let alone an aura that was aiming to fry her to a crisp. It's okay now, you don't have to be afraid anymore. Elise seems to be on the verge of crying. She's shaking all over. Yeah, Frederick is a jerk. Yeah, I don't even think he saw what Frederick did earlier, Falconer. Yeah, Frederick's a huge jerk. That's her police uniform. She's half naked. Hey, Jay, good point. Franz, she said she was going to summon my poop. Yeah, she did say I'm going to summon the shit out of you. Huh? I'm sorry. Oh, what magic spell does one use to summon poop? Oh my god. She basically said she's going to fry her to a crisp is what she meant. I'm going to summon the shit out of you is what she said. I think she meant she's going to fry her with magic. And now she's saying, how do you summon poop? She's so confused. Like, she doesn't know magic like at all, obviously. Huh? Poop. What are you talking about? There's no spells like that. But the woman said she was speaking I can't say this word. Figuratively. I don't know. I can't say. That's one of the words I have a hard time saying. She was speaking figuratively. She was just trying to scare you. Are you sure? Yeah. Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure that you're sure? Elise, there is no magic like that. I bet my conservatoire agree on this fact. Wow, she's really shaken up. But Jisung said that there are still spells that are unknown to magical scientists. Who the hell is this Jisung, and what does he know about poop summoning? Elise, I'm definitely, completely, positively, absolutely certain there's no such magic that exists anywhere in Overture. And even if it did, a policewoman wouldn't be caught dead using it on a teenager. Elise quiets down. A second later, all worries are gone from her face. I think that's freaking figuratively. There you go. Thanks, AJ. Figuratively. There you go. That's one of those words I always have a hard time saying. Figuratively. Yeah, only this game is too nice to say shit. Exactly. I think that's hilarious that policewoman come and said, I'm going to summon the shit out of you. Basically mean I'm going to cast a powerful spell at you. And she's like, she said she was going to summon poop. Wow, that's hilarious. Elise quiets down. A second later, all worries are gone from her face. Whew. It's good to hear that. That woman really scared me. If she had done something like that, I wouldn't be able to get married anymore. Oh my god, that is funny. That is funny. She was worried that she was gonna, what, turn her into shit? Like, I don't know what she was thinking. Wow, wouldn't be able to get married anymore, be covered in shit? I don't know. What? I still want to be a bride someday, have a family, and get a dog. I think even Franz is confused as well. He's like, what? I'm pretty sure you can get a dog without being a bride, Elise. Ha 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 ha. Elise. Yeah? What happened to you? Why did the policewoman mistake you as a Libertad? I wanted to ask that too, Franz. What is a Libertad? I really don't know myself, but I told Elise about my encounter with Libertad yesterday. After that, she tells me about what has happened since she left Lord Godwin's house, how she met a man named Jisung, went for a meal together, and got attacked by the policewoman. In other words, this Jisung must be a member of the Libertad. Jisung? Elise's voice is subdued, almost to a whisper, like that of a little kid after a scolding. Franz, Jisung is not a bad person. Well, we don't know about that. You'd better stay away from him regardless. Aw. By the way, why did you leave Lord Godwin's house this morning? That was nothing. I just got really nervous, and well, she's not going to admit to him that Lord Frederick asked him to service him. Something clearly happened, but Elise doesn't seem to want to talk about it. Frederick didn't mention anything about it either. Big surprise. Well, if you say so, but are you sure everything's okay? Yeah. Alright, so are you going back home? It's getting really dark. Home? Elise? Franz, I don't have a home. Oh, wow, so she must trust Franz quite a bit. She just told him she doesn't have a home. Man, can you imagine how hard that would be to admit to somebody that you're 15 years old, you haven't had a home for 6 years, you've been sleeping in the attic of a whorehouse because you don't have a home. In 3 months, you're going to have to start selling yourself as a prostitute, as a whore, because you do live in that whorehouse, and you have nowhere to call home. That'd be hard to do. Definitely empathize. Even though this is a fictional story, it definitely makes you feel empathy and empathize with poor Elise here. I don't have a home. Haha, but don't worry about me. I mean, why don't you go home yourself? You have school tomorrow, don't you? Goodbye, Franz. Oh, wait, what do you mean you don't have a home? Where have you been staying? She cast her eyes downward. I used to have a home a long time ago. When her eyes meet mine again, they're full of sorrow. My parents and I lived in a house in the city. My dad had a business of selling potable water. It might sound weird today because there is a water dispenser in every Buggy household, but back when he started the business, magic machines were very expensive. There were many magicians who could cast water spells, but the water wasn't always clean. My dad was special because he somehow never failed to summon clean and drinkable water. That's right, I also talked about this in the symposium just 2 days ago. Not all water is the same type of water. The quality depends on a number of factors. Elise goes on to continue. So my dad started packaging the water and he summoned into bottles. For a while, he made a nice living selling them. But eventually, magic machines got cheaper and cheaper until it reached a point where they were affordable to most people. Now, it is now easier and cheaper to get a water dispenser than it is to buy water from a summoner. When I was 9, my dad went out of business. We fell into debt after that. Elise closes her eyes. After breathing out slowly, she opens them again. One day, I woke up alone in the house. My parents were nowhere to be found. That afternoon, a few men came looking for my dad. When they learned that my dad wasn't around, they got very angry, but eventually they left. I was all alone. My parents never came back. They didn't even leave me with food to eat. Some neighbors were kind enough to take care of me for a while, but eventually they started ignoring me. The men kept coming back, and eventually they threw me out of the house. They said they were taking the house to cover my dad's debts. I had nowhere to live. I had no money. When night fell, I slept on the street. The only way for me to get money was by selling magic, casting spells for other people. I'd hold a sign saying compassion and courage, and sometimes people would pay me to burn something with fire or heal small cuts on their arms or legs. I also got mana potions from them. But at one time, I wasn't able to get any money and hadn't eaten anything for several days, so I decided to steal a loaf of bread from a bakery. Unfortunately, I was caught and handed over to the police. After beating me, a cop took me to a paroles area and released me. He said that I was free to do whatever I wanted as long as I kept away from the city. Man, that's brutal. Like throwing her in the garbage. So I started wandering the parole streets. I slept in alleyways. Food was even more an issue out there. I tried using my healing and fire magic to earn money, but it was much more difficult in a paroles area because the paroles couldn't pay me, and mana potions were almost impossible to come by. My life only got better after I was found by Madame Bavor. She said I was beautiful, and she wanted me to live with her. Madame Bavor? I thought nothing could be worse than what I was going through, so I agreed to go with her. She took me to her house, which turned out to be a brothel. I see. It is that Maison de Bavor. I've been living there ever since. Well, until this morning. Franz says, so how come you don't want to go back? Madame agreed not to make me serve customers until I turned 16, but I'm turning 16 in just 3 months. I don't want to work at the Maison. I protested. I had been paying my living expenses myself with the money I got from working at the factory, but the Madame said it wasn't just about the expenses. She said my wage as a factory worker was nowhere near the kind of money I'd bring if I was to work at the Maison. So I don't want to live at the Maison anymore. I'm not going back. I don't have a house, but at least I have a job at the factory. Somehow I'll manage. Elise looks determined. There's a fire in her eyes. I can't let her do this, though. Elise may think she will be able to survive on the streets, but a million things could happen to a girl like her. If anything happens to Elise, it'll be disastrous for my research. I can't let that happen. Well, look, why don't you stay at my place for now? Your place? Yes, at least you'll have a place to stay tonight. We can think about something more long-term tomorrow. She seems to be deep in thought. Are you sure that's okay? Absolutely. It's better than sleeping on the street, right? Yeah. Good. Let's go. Okay. We're here. Elise stands frozen in front of the apartment building. Her eyes are open wide. Franz, is this your house? It's even bigger than Frederick's. Because it's an apartment. So she thinks she's so naive, she thinks the apartment is his house. And he's confused. That's funny. Huh? It's enormous. Huh? What do your parents do for a living? Are you a prince? Look, I don't own the whole building. My house is just a unit inside the building. I can't believe... Wait, what? Just come in, you'll see. Overture is both a big and small country, depending on how you see it. The monarchy wields huge political power over other kingdoms in the continent. So in a way, these other kingdoms are under the rule of Overture. Traders from Overture also have established many colonies all over the world, which together make up the so-called Overturian Empire. But the kingdom of Overture itself encompasses only a city, the city of Overture. What that means is that the city is home to the kingdom's entire ever-growing population, as well as immigrants who have come to the magical science capital of the world. As a result, land is expensive and the city has opted for vertical development. Nowadays, most people in the middle class live in apartment buildings or similar shared dwellings. Elisa's lack of knowledge about this type of housing means her parents used to have their own house, either because they were rich enough to buy one or because their family had owned a house for generations. Makes sense. Franz, are you sure I can stay over? Won't your parents mind? My parents are traveling abroad. It will be just you and me alone at my home. I see. It's not a problem then. Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay. I go inside, Elise following close behind me. Wait a minute. I think I just uttered something very amazing. Wow, the staircase is curved like in the Maison. What was I saying again? My parents are traveling abroad? No, not that. Oh, so this is what you meant by your house being just a unit in the building. He's still thinking to himself. After that, it will be you and me alone at home. That's something amazing? Ah, it's a lovely house. Hey, this couch is like the one we had at my old house. Ha ha ha. Me and Elise alone at home. Whoa, I didn't think about this before, but I'm actually bringing a girl home, and she is staying overnight. My heart suddenly starts to beat even faster. Wow, this is like the quality assurance office at our factory. This is your bedroom, Franz? Yeah, this is my... bedroom? When did I get here? Wait a minute. Did I just lead a girl straight to my room? Is it supposed to be this easy? Oh my. Elise is smiling without a care. Her face is a picture of innocence. Franz? Yeah, this is my bedroom, haha. Her gleaming eyes wander from one corner of the room to the next. Okay, calm down. Let's rationally analyze the whole situation here. Oh no, Franz, Foxy says. Why would Elise not be worried about sleeping in the same room with a man she just met? A, she isn't aware of the danger. B, she doesn't see me as a man. Or C, she's just completely okay with it. Oh man, he's really getting analytical here, ain't he? About why she's in his bedroom. I mean, he just invited her over to his house to live, but I don't think he meant in the same bed. but it isn't romantic. Yeah, Franz is getting the wrong idea. Yeah, I think so too, AJ. But at least he's not going to be a dick about it like Lord Frederick, right? Service me, Elise, is what Lord Frederick said moments after meeting him. Yeah, I bet you he doesn't say service me, Elise, like Lord Frederick did. Ah, your bed looks so comfortable. Oh no. If he was getting the wrong idea before, he's really going to get the wrong idea now. Elise says, oh, your bed looks so comfortable. Oh no. Falconer says Franz isn't trying to hit on Elise and vice versa. Yeah, but he is starting to think, what the heck am I doing? Answer A, she isn't aware of the danger is impossible, considering that look how analytical he's getting about this. So now he's analyzing the three answers he gave. Answer A, she isn't aware of the danger. That's impossible, considering that until this morning she had been living at the Maison de Beauvoir. She must be hyper aware of how men think. Well, he's got a point there. Answer B, she doesn't see me as a man, is also impossible, because come on, I'm the definition of a classic, gentlemanly, good looks. Now this sounds like something AJ would say. I'm the definition of classic, gentleman, good looks. So that can't be possible. Falconer says, answer B, she doesn't see him as a man. AJC, I can see embarrassment in Franz's future. Yeah, I think you're right, AJ. I think you're right. This is getting pretty good. This is definitely getting pretty good here. So that only leaves that she wants me. Elise says, well, thanks for showing me your bedroom, Franz. I'll go sleep on the couch in the living room. Good night. That is written so well. I love that. Yeah, Foxy says he's getting 200 times the wrong idea. How funny. So right before he starts thinking, right before he comes to the conclusion that she wants to sleep with me, she says, oh, thanks for showing me your bedroom, Franz. I'll go sleep in the couch in the living room. Good night. Let down, bitch slap across the face. That's funny. The door closes behind me. And she left him alone in his room. Oh, Franz likes to overthink. I think a lot of us like to overthink these situations sometimes, especially when we're young, like Franz. Elise just likes seeing a nice bed after living in trashy places for so long. Foxy's like, rejected. You guys have to admit that was pretty good, though. That was pretty good scene there. Good night, Elise, he says to himself in his room with the door closed. Oh, that was pretty good. Uh-oh, can't sleep. So now Franz can't sleep. Alright, what's gonna happen, guys? We won't know until Monday. Monday on Livestream Under the Moonshine, number 180, guys. We'll continue with part 4 of An Octave Higher. So I have been reading this chapter for a long time. I just, the other day, I said, look, I don't want to do these long 2-hour episodes, and here I am at 2.5 hours. But this episode was pretty entertaining, especially, you know, I was looking for a good stopping point, and I think this is probably a good stopping point, especially since we've been going for 2.5 hours already. Zax, why would you troll us like this? Yeah, I know, just when it's getting good, I stop, right? Yep, we're going to make you guys hang on. You guys can definitely go buy it. It is like $12.99 on Steam. The link is in the description. But if you just can't wait, go buy it. Play it yourself. But otherwise, hang in there for me. Wait for part 4. We'll continue An Octave Higher on Monday night, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Love you guys all. You guys are freaking awesome. You guys have a good rest of your day or night. We're going to go ahead and save this puppy, and we're going to pick up here on Monday on Livestream Under the Moonshine. All right. I want to make sure I saved it. I think I did. Yeah, it's right here. All right. Let's see how much of the story we've read before we can see what percentage of the story we've already read, though, guys. We can go to the gallery. 31%. So, guys, we're not even a third of the way through this visual novel yet. This is a long visual novel. I've already read an hour and 45 minutes on part 1, an hour and 15 minutes on part 2. That's 3 hours. And this one was 2.5 hours. So we've already read 5.5 hours. We're probably looking at about 6 hours, so that'd be a third. So this is going to take me about 18 hours to get all the way through, guys. 18 to 20 hours probably to get all the way through. We're going to have a lot more videos and episodes and parts of an Octave Higher. But so far I'm enjoying it. I expect, because this visual novel won awards for like its narrative and story, its writing, I expect this to develop really well and get really good towards the end. I think this is going to be a good one. I can sense it. I can sense this is going to have a great story and be really, really worth it. So if you look at that also, guys, I mean, the visual novel is $12, which is kind of expensive for a visual novel. But when you consider it's going to be 18 hours of me reading aloud, or 20 hours, somewhere in there, 18 to 20 hours probably of me reading aloud, probably worth the money. Should you guys want to go buy it and play it yourself. All right, guys, want to thank you guys for being here and sticking it out with me on a long episode of LiveStream Under the Moonshine. Now, that's a lot of story to read. I come here to my mobile phone to listen to you read. I don't have money, so I'm sad. Well, that means you'll have to be here Monday to find out what happens, Foxy. Monday night, we'll continue with an Octave Higher on part 4. You guys have a great weekend if I don't see you before then, but I will be doing my my Games of Our Lives live stream tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening rather, at 7 p.m. Eastern. Guys, thanks so much for being here. You guys have a great night. Have a great weekend if I don't see you again. Peace, everybody. Have a good one. Take care.